Girl Scouts. Today is Friday, July 31st, which means it's the Healthy Living Challenge for the week. I hope you've had fun with the other challenges this week. Today we're going to talk about heart rate and what it should be normally when you're resting, also whenever you're exercising. So let's go on. So what is a heart rate? A heart rate is the measure of how many contractions your heart is beating per minute. So your heart will change the rate either higher and faster or lower and slower depending on the needs of the heart. So whenever you're resting and you're just staying still or you're laying down or you're just walking like normal, your heart rate's going to go slower and it's going to be a low heart rate because your body doesn't need to get as much oxygen and it doesn't need to expel as much carbon dioxide as it would if you were running or if you were really intensely exercising. So when you're exercising, your heart rate's going to go up and your heart's going to be pumping faster because it needs more oxygen to keep you sustained and it needs to expel more carbon dioxide. So your heart rate's going to go up and faster when you're running. So let's talk about what our normal heart rate should be. So the normal resting heart rate for adults should be between 60 beats per minute and 100 beats per minute. If you're a child under 18, it should normally be around 70 to 100 beats per minute. So we're actually going to test our resting heart rate. I'm going to test mine and we're going to see where it's at. Also worth noting is if you are an athlete and you do work out a lot and you run a lot or you're in a sport of some kind, your heart rate could normally be lower than 60 or 70 beats per minute because your body has worked your heart muscle and it doesn't need as much as a normal person would. So it's normal for an athlete to have between 40 to 100 beats per minute. So let's test ours and we'll see what we're at. So to test our resting heart rate, you're going to find an area where you can feel your pulse, which there are two main places where you can feel your pulse at. You can take two fingers and put it right under your jawline until you feel a pulse. So I feel mine right here. Or you can take your wrist and put two fingers. Here are your tendons. You want to put your fingers on the tendons kind of tight until you can feel the pulse as well. So pick one of those spots and then we're going to set a timer for 15 seconds and you're going to count how many beats you feel in those 15 seconds and then we'll multiply it by 4 and that will be our resting heart rate. So let's begin. Okay, so now that we've done it for 15 seconds, my heartbeat that I felt 21 beats in that 15 seconds. So I would take 21 times 4 and I would get, whatever my resting heart rate is, which is 84 beats per minute. So that is in, between the 60 and the 100 beats per minute. So that's normal, I'm in the normal range. I hope you guys got normal range. If you didn't, think about what you've done. Have you just ran around or did you just eat some food and now your body's kind of like, working it out? Either way, it's good to know your resting heart rate, especially if you do exercise so you can then know what the difference is between your resting and your non-resting. So now we're going to talk about our non-resting heart rate, and it's just the same exact process. So I want you guys to do some sort of physical activity for at least, I'm going to say 10 minutes. We'll try for 10 minutes, do some sort of running around in a circle, do some push-ups, jumping jacks, anything that gets your heartbeat racing, right? So then we can see what ours is. So I'm going to go do some movement and I will be right back and we'll test out what my non-resting heart rate is. Alright, I hope you guys did some 10 minutes of exercise. I'm a little bit out of breath, so I'm going to go ahead and start and get my heart rate and see what happens. Okay, so I have calculated my non-resting heart rate, and I counted 33 beats per minute during my exercise, tracking. So 33 times 4 is 132, I believe. So that's pretty good. I got my heart rate up. Exercise is great as long as you get your heart rate up. So if you're not feeling like super comfortable with exercising a certain type of way, it's definitely just good to get your heart rate up. It doesn't even matter. As long as you get that heart pumping, you will be exercising your muscle, and that is your heart muscle. We want to know, what is our maximum heart rate? What can I go to that's still healthy? So to calculate your maximum heart rate, you want to take 220 and then subtract your age from it. That's just like a general guideline. Obviously, it doesn't work all the time, because if you're 22 or not 22, if you calculate 220 minus 0 years old, if you're a baby, obviously your heart rate should not be 220 beats per minute. So it's really just kind of a general guideline. So 220 minus my age, which is 23, it is 197. So my heart rate, I don't think really will get to 197, but that's like the max that I should be doing. I don't think it's going to get there, but 132, that's, within that range. It's a little over 100, so I got my heartbeat going, and it's not too high where I'm going to go into cardiac arrest. So, calculate your normal resting heart rate and then your exercise heart rate, and I want to see what yours is. So tell me your age, your normal, or your resting, and your cardiac beats per minute. You just send them to me through the link below. Send me those. I hope you tell your parents about this. Tell them how to calculate their normal resting heart rate. Tell your grandparents, tell your siblings. It's really important to know how to figure out what your normal heart rate is, so you can know your body. Because if you test it one day and it's really whack, it's really low, or it's super high and you feel dizzy or something, it's really important to know what your normal body stasis is. So know your body, keep checking up on it, and this is how you get healthy. You learn, you grow, and you figure out everything you need to know about it. So I hope you guys had fun doing it. I hope you got a little sweaty. I know I sure did. And I will see you next Friday when we do more healthy living. So have a good weekend.